Hello everyone, in this tutorial I will show and explain you how to use the Ckeditor. This is one of the main tools that you're going to be using when you want to format the content in your web pages. So I'm going to start by explaining the buttons and features one by one. The first button is called templates. Here you have a list of available layout templates that you can insert into your pages. These templates, in terms of colors, text styles, sizes, buttons, will be relevant to the design of your website. Make sure when you're choosing a template you untick the replace actual content, otherwise it will erase all the content that is currently in the Ckeditor. The next feature is source. It offers you the possibility to view the text you have written in the editing area in HTML code. When adding new pages, it might be a really useful feature. If you want to copy the layout of one page to another, you will still need to add it manually, but at least you can save yourself time by adding the layout and then formatting the content. All you need to do is go to source, copy all the content, and then go to the new page and paste it in the Ckeditor. The next button is preview. You can preview your content in the browser. The next function is undo. The undo function is very useful in a situation where you have made a mistake and you want to correct it easily. For example, if you have written your whole text and you have erased it by mistake, you can press the undo function and it will go back to the state before the erasing. The redo button is the exact opposite of undo. If you want to go back to the state after you've used the undo function, you can press the redo button. You can go many steps with the undo button if you want to. The next buttons are find and replace. In the find word field, you can type a word or phrase that you want to find, then just click on the find button. The match case, if you check this option, the program will find only the text with the exact cases. If you have upper and lower cases in the word, then you should check this option as well. The match whole word, if you check this option, the program will only look for the whole word. It won't look for a phrase. The match cyclic option is checked by default. When the Ckeditor reaches the end of the document, the search continues from the beginning of the text. The next options are cut, copy, paste, paste as plain text, and paste from Word. You can cut by either pressing Ctrl X, and then you can paste text by either clicking on the paste button or Ctrl V on your keyboard. It's recommended when you're pasting text from another source, you paste it as a plain text first and then insert it into the Ckeditor, otherwise you might experience HTML or layout issues. The next button is print. You can print the content in the Ckeditor. The next features are check spelling. You can check the spelling of the content. If there's a spelling mistake in the document, the text will be underlined. As you can see, you can have the option to spell check as you type as well. The next button is select all. This feature selects all the content if you want to format it at one time. The next button is remove format. The next feature is formatting styles. The next feature is heading. You can format a whole paragraph by using this feature. Another shortcut of selecting the whole content is by pressing Command or Control A on your keyboard. The next feature is font. You have several font options. The next one is font size. The next button is text color. You can change the color of the text. The next one is background color. This one changes the color of the background behind the text. The buttons on the next bar start with maximize. This will maximize the whole Ckeditor. If you have larger content to write or to format, to go back to your previous state, you just click on it again. The next button is show blocks. This one shows where you have paragraph or any other formatting features that you've used. The next buttons are bold, italic and underline, and strike through as well. So this is bold, this one makes the text italic, this one shows a line underneath, and this one is strike through. If you want to redo any of them, you need to click on the buttons again. Make sure you select the text first. The next button is text direction from left to right or from right to left. This one is from left to right at the moment. If you want to make it from right to left, you can click on this button. The next buttons are superscript and subscript. They can be used to position elements slightly higher or slightly lower than the text on the line. So this is going to be subscript or superscript. The next features are increase indent and decrease indent. The next one is block quote. The block quote element represents a section that is quoted from another source. The next one is create div container. Div containers, just like other HTML elements along with CSS styling, is an advanced feature. So these should be used if you have sufficient knowledge of the both web standards. The next features are left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, and justify. So this is left alignment, center, right, and justify. The next button is link. If you want to create a link to another web page, for example, if I want to create a link to Google, we need to select the text that we want to apply the link on first. So I'm gonna select here and then click on the link button. In this window we have several options. We can create a link to another web page, which is the URL. We can create a link to an anchor. For this function you can see the other video I've created especially on this subject, the link to anchor in the text. Or we can create a link to an email, where when you click on this link you will be taken to email program like Microsoft Outlook, for example. So I'm gonna click on URL, and then we need to type in the Google's web address. On the left side you have several options whether you want the link to be the HTTPS is a secure protocol, FTP is a file transfer protocol, news protocols. The normal web page protocol is HTTP, so you don't need to worry about the other ones. We also have the option to specify a target for our link. This means how we want our link to open in what kind of window. You can also create a link to a document. For example, if you want your clients to download an application form, you can upload it by using this option. You need to click on choose file, then choose the document from your computer, and then click on send it to the server. This will automatically create a link for that file on the server. So let's click on OK. We can now see that we've created the link and we can go and test it. We need to save the page first. Refresh the page. So as you know that the link should be on here, and if we click on the link we should be taken to Google's website. Let's go back. The next button is unlink. So if we select the text that we've created the link on, if we want to remove it we can click on the unlink button. The next feature is anchor. Please refer to the anchor video I've created earlier, which explains in more detail regarding this feature. The next feature is image. You can insert images by using this function. For example, if I will go to a website, all I need to do is just copy image URL and then paste it in the URL field. There is several options regarding the image function. We can resize the image if we want to. We can also create a border for the image. We can also specify a horizontal space and a vertical space. This is the space between the image and the text. We can also specify the alignment of the image if we want it to be left or right. Or to easily place the image in the Ckeditor, you can also click on the image and drag it. Because it's right alignment, we need to change this to left. You can also insert an image by uploading it from a local storage. After the image function, we have the flash option. It's a similar feature to the link. The difference is that the flash file format is different than the link. For example, I have found a flash file of a frogs game. SWF means it's a flash file. We need to copy this link and then paste it in the URL. We can preview the flash animation by clicking on the preview box. If we want to resize the flash animation, we need to go back to the Ckeditor, double click on the flash box, then we can specify a size for it. Same with the image H space and V space. This will be the space between the flash animation and the surrounding text. And same as the link and the image, you can upload it from a local computer or storage. If you want to create a table in the Ckeditor, you need to press on the tables button, then a pop-up called table properties will appear. In rows field, you can specify how many rows do you want to have in a table. In the columns field, you can specify how many columns do you want to have in the table. Table headers usually show up in bold by default. You can specify whether you want it to be of the first row, column, or both. Border size sets the thickness of the table border. You can specify the alignment to be left, center, or right. You can also specify the width and height. This works in pixels or percentages. Cell spacing specifies how thick will the cell's border be. Cell padding sets the height of the cell. The caption field specifies the title of your table. The summary field sets a comment on the table. This is only for personal use. So if you want to quickly create a 5 by 5 table, by the way, you don't need to choose all the options or worry about them. You can insert a table only by specifying rows and columns. The next button is Insert Horizontal Line. The next feature is Insert Special Symbols. And finally, the last feature is Insert Page Break. You can use this function for printing. I think that's all you need to know about the Ckeditor. Thank you for watching.